The Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting held its 9th edition at the 9th Hall, Lagos.
You all are making fun of me. Ever say I'm a movement. Okay, you want me to remove my transaction and nakedness before this event? You have to do this in court anyway.
An event set aside to reward incisive and dedicated journalism in Nigeria had the chairman of the board, Professor Ropo Shekoni, in his opening remarks, describe it as a strategic tool to nation building.
I want to appeal to well-meaning Nigerians of means to support any of the center's activities, annual Wole Soyinka lectures, capacity training sessions, special publications to promote skills in investigative reporting, and the international visits of awardees to centers of excellence in investigative reporting across the globe.
In their goodwill messages, the deputy heads of missions of the United Kingdom and Netherlands, Mr. Simon Shelcliffe and Mr. Michel Deline, respectively, emphasized the value of investigative journalism.
So combating corruption, which benefits the few and denies opportunities to the many, must be a priority. The British government is working with the relevant Nigerian authorities and with the Nigerian Fourth Estate in support of this goal. We believe strongly that those who are guilty of corruption should be brought to justice. The second area, human rights. Human rights abuses are a similar brake on Nigeria's development, just as they are with any other country. Allowing those who perpetrate such abuse to operate with impunity, to get away, in other words, with human rights abuses, results in a similar undermining of trust between the government and the people. Uncovering such abuse and demanding high standards from the authorities is a brave but critical action for a society to reach justness.
Let's forget about the position of women in Nigeria, because people might find it offensive if we write about that. No, investigative journalism is to write about things that people might think are offensive. So I do hope that part of the whole workshops and trainings that were given will lead to a result whereby we're going to read in newspaper articles real revelations, disclosures, to the point, and that people will wake up and start a discussion and say, you know, but this was in the newspaper, and I understood it, and I saw the point, and let's start a discussion from here.
In his remarks, seasoned journalist Mr. Vitali Ilo shared the dynamics of journalism in the country and the value of the investigative aspect.
Investigative journalism is the fulcrum of development journalism, a term that gained currency in the 60s when Asia and African journalists reacted to the rise in aid from Western powers. The work of Filipino journalists Alan Chockley and Juan Machado were critical to the growth of development journalism when they questioned the superficial coverage of socioeconomic developments by news organizations relying on government press releases and quotes, but leaving little space for analysis or evaluation of development projects. No matter how much society hates the investigative journalist or reporter as a busybody and troublemonger, I posit that every progressive society needs him to tie the loose end and bridge the gap between government policies and implementation, non-implementation or shoddy implementation. To uncover the story within the stories, to expose electoral malpractices, to bring attention to issues that are overlooked, are underrepresented in the media, to go after the bad guys, to give power back to an individual or community, to protect the rights of the oppressed, to expose corrupt government and corporate officials, and uncover corruption and criminality in high and low places.
Highlights of the event was the presentation of awards to deserving journalists and groups in the country.
And this year's recipient of the Wole Soyinka Centre for Investigative Journalism Award for Anti-Corruption is the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, CERAP. The Executive Director is Mr. Tokunbo Mumoni. Is he here? The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, CERAP, founded in 2004, is a not-for-profit, non-governmental organization with the aim to use human rights law to encourage the government and others to address developmental and human rights challenges such as corruption, poverty, inequality, and discrimination. Public opinion. CERAP also works to ensure Nigeria's full compliance with the human rights and anti-corruption treaties to which it has voluntarily subscribed. I hereby call on Mr. Innocent Chukwuma, the West Africa representative of Ford Foundation, to present the award to Mr. Tokunbo Mumoni, who's represented by the legal advisor. Thank you.
Investigative journalism is key to the development of a nation, and the Wole Soyinka Centre must be commended for promoting this.